So, good morning, everyone. We will start with the second chapter of surveying uh, for GATE lecture series under Prerna scheme of Anjuman College of Engineering. Uh, in the previous class, we have seen the first introductory part of the surveying. Today, we'll start with the second chapter, that is the linear measurement, including chain surveying. So, basically, linear measurement means is to measure the horizontal distance. That means, suppose there is a point here 1, okay, so and there is point 2. So if we are taking any instrument and measuring its horizontal distance, then it is considered to be a linear measurement. Okay, so generally the instrument which is used for linear measurements are what? Chain. Okay, so if it is saying chain surveying, that means under this all the instrument which can measure the horizontal distance comes. Okay, so chain surveying is a method of making linear measurement. So chain surveying, as I've told you, that it is used to measure what is generally used to make linear measurements. Okay, now we'll see what are the different parts that are provided in this. Okay, first is your direct measurement. It says that the distance is actually measured in the field by using chain or tape. Approximate method used is in reconnaissance survey are pacing, passometer, pedometer, odometer, measuring wheels, and speedometer. So basically, this is a very direct method to measure what? Horizontal distance. Okay, so we can use either chain or tape because we need to measure horizontal distance in reconnaissance. Okay, there are some other instruments also available, that is your passing, passometer, pedometer, odometer, measuring wheel, and speedometer, which can also be used to measure what? The horizontal distance. Okay, after that, chaining is the most accurate method of making direct measurement. So we are considering that the chaining is one of the most accurate method to measure what? Direct measurement. So in this we will see what is chain. So basically, chain is made of galvanized mild steel. Okay, it has been generally provided in links. Okay, the length of the chain measured from outside over the handle to outside of the other handle. Okay, so chain is basically of mild steel links. Okay, the length of the chain is measured from outside of one handle to the outside of the other handle. Okay, it is measured from the outside portion of the handle. Suppose this is a handle, and suppose this is your chain. So it will be measured from this side to the other handle. Okay, there are different length of chain available in the market. Uh, the first one is your metric chain. So metric chain is generally available in 20 meter. So basically the one link of that chain is of 20 centimeters. So it contains about 100 links. And similarly, it also have a length of 30 meters. So it will contain what? 150 links. So there is another chain that is called as Gunter chains. It is generally 66 feet and it is having 100 links. Okay. It is also called as surveyor chain also. The revenue chain, it has 33 feet and 16 links. It is generally used for cadastral survey, that is marking the boundaries of the plots. Uh, then there is engineer chains. Okay, the engineer chain is generally 100 feet. It is consists of 100 links. Okay. After that, steel band is also used to measure horizontal distance. It is made up of blue steel. It is generally available in 20 to 30 meter length. Each link is 20 centimeter. It is more accurate as compared to chain. Okay, steel bands. It is also available in 20 to 30 meter length. The link is generally 20 centimeter, and it is also more accurate as compared to chain. Okay. After that, chain, we can also use tapes to measure horizontal distance. So the tapes which are available is one of the type is your invert tapes, are basically generally used for measuring linear measurements of very high degree of precision. So where high degree of precision accuracy is required, we avoid using chain, we use tapes, and mostly invert tapes are used. Okay, uh, such as in case of a surveying, we need to measure the baseline. Okay, that is the line which is very important because that is considered to be a reference line. So baseline is generally measured with the help of tapes. Okay, invert tapes is made up of alloys of nickel 36%. So basically it consists of alloy of nickel 36% and C. So sometimes this question also asks What is the alloy of invert tape? So we need to write that it consists of nickel and steel. It has very low coefficient of thermal expansion, 1:10 of that of steel. Okay, so it has very low thermal expansion, and it has a sigma s value of 12.5 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree Celsius. Okay, this is all about your tape. So in tape, the most important type is your invert tape. It is basically used to measure high degree precision surveying, and generally it is used to measure baselines. Okay, and it is made up of alloy which is consisting of nickel 36% and steel. It has a very low coefficient of thermal expansion. Okay, after that, in chain surveying we required some other instrument also. The miscellaneous equipment used for chaining is what? First one is your arrow. So arrow is generally used when we need to measure a length. Suppose if you are measuring a length which is approximately, suppose, 100 meter, and you are having a chain of what? 20 meter. Okay, you have a 20 meter chain. So what will happen? You will have to use your, suppose this is 100 meter, you have to use 20 meter chain. You will have to use it at least 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this will be 5. So if you are using chain at least 5 times, so at every 20 meter length you will have to put an arrow. So that is why arrow is provided, and it indicates that it has completed one chain length. Okay, so an arrow is looking somewhat like this. It is of 40 centimeter long, IS code, 4 dia, and minimum 10 arrow with one chain. Okay, so hope I clear what is arrow. It is generally used where your chain length gets completed. Okay, so if you are measuring from this point, suppose you take your chain and measure, you have measured 20 meter, it has completed one chain, so you will put an arrow inside this. Okay, after that you will again measure this meter, 20 meter, again you will put an arrow over here. So after the measurement, you will directly calculate what number of arrows and multiply it by the total length. That will give you the total linear measurement. Okay, after that, wooden pegs at the starting point, okay, and at the end point, they are called to be the main station point. To fix that point, we use sometimes wooden pegs, or sometimes steel pegs are also used to mark the position of station or the terminal station of the submarine. So the terminal stations are what? The starting and the end point. So suppose A is your starting point, B is your end point. So what will happen? You will have to use what? A, you will insert a wooden peg inside that, and B, you will also insert a wooden peg inside that. So A and B are nothing but what? Your terminal stations or the main station points. After that, we'll see that we require also ranging rod. In chain surveying, sometimes we required ranging rod. Ranging rods are generally used to make the line straight, because if you are taking a 100 meter length and if you are measuring it with the help of a chain, you will have to use the chain at least 5 times. So by using 5 times, there are chances that the line may not be straight. For that, in order to make this AB line straight, we have to mark some intermediate point with the help of ranging. So for that we require a ranging rod. Okay, so ranging rod is generally 2 meter in length. It is 2 to 3 meter. Okay, it is generally used what to fix intermediate point. It is 3 centimeter nominal diameter. Okay, so ranging rod is generally used for measuring for fixing intermediate points. After that, ranging poles are also there, length 4 to 8 meter. The purpose is same. Then there is offset rod. Offset rod is basically what? If you are, this is your main line. If you are taking anything left or right to the main line, that is considered to be an offset. For that, you required another rod that is called as offset rod. Okay, so it is also 3 meter in length. It is wooden butt rod to measure offset, used by a building surveyor or architect. So it is generally used for measuring anything on the left and right to the main survey line. Okay, after that there is plaster lath. It is used for ranging a line setting intermediate point 1 by 2 to 1 by 1 meter long of wooden. Okay, it is basically used toward ranging a line setting intermediate point 1 by 2 half to 1 meter. So it is used for making an intermediate point or ranging intermediate point. Plaster lath is used. Whites, pieces of sharpened thick stick used to similar to lathe. It is also similar to what plaster lathe. After that, plumb bob is used. Plumb bob is generally used to transfer the point which is an air to the ground. Okay. And then after that, line ranger, it is also an instrument which is used to measure what? It is used to fix an intermediate point. In this, some mirrors are provided, and with the help of two right angle isosceles prism, we can fix an intermediate point. Okay, that is your line ranger. So the thing which you need to know about line ranger is that it is used to fix intermediate point. Basically, it is used to what? Range a line so that it can be a straight line. Okay. Uh, so line ranger is basically used to what? Fix intermediate point. Note when both the ends of the survey lines are not intervisible due to high intervening ground, indirect or reciprocal ranging is resorted. Now what it is saying that suppose there is 2 point, suppose there is a intervening hill in between that, so the condition for your direct ranging is that you must see your starting point and end point. If you are not able to see your starting and end point, you won't be able to fix an intermediate point. For that you will have to do what? Indirect or reciprocal ranging. For that there is a special arrangement made, but that is not important for this point of view, gate point of view. But you must know that if both the ends of the stations, the starting point and the end point is not intervisible, then in that case you will have to use what? Indirect or reciprocal ranging. That you must be familiar with this word, indirect or reciprocal ranging. Okay. After that, fifth one is your error due to incorrect chain. So there can be errors, as you know that in steel chain what is happening, it has been provided with handles, okay, and it is made up of steel. So by the time of pulling the chain, it can be chances that the chain get what? Too long, or it can be a too short. Okay, because of temperature it might get too long, or it might get too short because of less temperature. So we need to apply some errors, we need to know the errors in incorrect chain so that we can apply that error and get the true measurements of that line. So the first error, if the chain is too long, suppose if the chain is getting too long, measured distance will be what? Less. Okay, so what is this saying? That suppose we have been provided with what? 30-meter chain, and it is saying that it is becoming too long, suppose it is becoming 31. So the distance which you are measuring will become what? Less. So the error will be what? Negative. So in case of too long, the error will be what? Negative. You need to remember that. And therefore, if the error is negative, you will have to apply the correction as positive. Okay, error negative, correction positive. In case of too short chain, what will happen? The measured distance will be more. So what will be that? The error is what? Positive. So the correction will be what? Opposite, that is your negative. So this is very important. You need to remember this, because most of the time students get confused in which when to use positive correction, when to use negative correction. So it is clearly stating that if the measured distance, if the chain is too long, the error will be negative and you will have to apply positive correction. So in case of too long, negative error, positive correction. In case of too short, what is? Positive error and negative correction. Okay. After that, there are some formulas which are generally used to find the true length of the line. So let us consider L as the true length of the line, true length of the chain. L to the power 1 measured length of the line. L to the power 1 is the incorrect length of the chain. L equals to what? Actual length of the line, and V1 is the measured volume. So A1 is the measured area, B is the true volume, and A is the actual true area. So there are formulas given based on which we can calculate the true length. So the first formula is L. If you need to calculate the true length, it will be equal to us L dash, or measured length. It can be a measured length. You can use as L dash by L into what? Measured length. Okay. Over here, L dash is nothing but the whatever the length is being provided. Suppose it is saying that it is 2 centimeter too long, so we need to consider the chain length plus the dimension which has been given, which it is saying that it is too long or too short. Okay, so L dash will be the incorrect length, L will be the corrected length, that is the actual length of the chain or tape, and it will be multiplied with the distance which has been measured with the help of this chain. Okay, similarly we can use this formula to measure the what area. If we need to calculate the area, so A dash will be what the measured area, L dash will be the measured incorrect length of the chain or tape, and L will be the corrected length of the chain or tape. Okay, to the power 2, because it is area we need to square it. Okay, similarly in case of volume, V1 into what L dash by L to the power cube. Since it is volume, we need to take it to the power cube. Okay, so these formulas are important because most of the time the question will ask on list only, because it will be given some question that we need to measure the chain is too long or the chain is too short. We need to find out the true length, or we need to provide some chain is having certain problem. We need to calculate the area, and if chain is having some problem, we need to calculate what the volume. So these three formulas are very important. I recommend you that you write these formulas, because most of the time the question will be asked on this only. Okay. After that, chaining on uneven or sloping ground. This is also very important, because to obtain horizontal distance between 2 points, we can use two methods. One is your direct method, one is your indirect method. So in direct method, what is happening? The follower holds the zero end of the tape. So basically in chaining there are two persons required. One is the follower, one is the leader. So the follower holds the zero end of the tape. So wherever we need to start the measurement, we will hold that part of your tape. Okay, the leader will select any suitable length of the tape and move forward. Okay, and the leader will move forward, make it horizontal, and then transfer the point on the ground. So suppose it is saying that, suppose this is a sloping ground. Okay, the follower is holding the tape over here, and the leader will what suspend the tape, okay, this way, and after that he will straight this tape, and then with the help of plumb bob will put the point on the ground. So that is called as your method of stepping, or you can say your direct method. Okay, after that this is your indirect method. Sloping distance is measured and horizontal distance calculated. अब इसमें क्या करने का है? The horizontal distance किससे measure करें? Horizontal distance is basically calculated and the sloping distance is measured. What you need to do is that in this case what we're doing, we were suspending the tape, but in this case what we need to do, we need to measure the sloping distance. So we'll measure from here to here, and then with the help of this distance we'll try to calculate the horizontal distance. Okay, for this the angle of the slope or the difference in elevation between the 2 points is also to be measured. So we need to measure what the slope angle. Okay, what is the slope angle with respect to this? Okay, that means we need to measure this angle, or you can also measure what? You can measure the difference. Suppose what is the reduced level of this point and what is the reduced level of this point. So for calculating the horizontal distance, we require what? The difference between the first and the last point, as well as the horizontal distance between the slope. Okay, after that by using some formula we can easily calculate the horizontal distance. Now the angle measured use clinometer. Horizontal distance can be calculated by what? Distance along the slope. So whatever the distance you have measured along the slope, that can be multiplied by about cos theta. That will give you the horizontal distance. And if in the case of what, if you have not measured the angle, in that case you need to measure the difference of level. So it is given by the formula d equals to what? Under root of L square minus h square, where d is the horizontal distance which is required, L is the distance along the slope, L will be the distance along the slope, and h is the difference of level. So you have calculated what? The difference of level from here to here, what is the level difference? So that will be your h square. So with the help of this you can also calculate the horizontal distance. Okay, so there are two formula. One is your based on your angle, and one is based on your level difference. Okay, after that there is hypotential allowance. So hypotential allowance, for that you need to see this diagram. It has been given by what? A dash. So suppose there is a sloping ground, as you can see from A dash to B there is a sloping ground, and because of the slope this type of error can occur from A dash to A dash. You can see that there is a small error. Okay, so this hypotenuse allowance can be calculated if it is given that in this diagram the lower portion of the triangle is one chain, and from A to B it is having of one chain, How can you calculate A dash by A? That is given in this. Suppose with the 20-meter chain, A dash by A is given by 100 sec theta minus 1. So by applying what your trigonometric rule, you can calculate that A dash by A can be given by what? It can be given by 100 sec theta minus 1 into length. So 50 into theta square is your length, where theta is the in radian. Okay, now 1.5 by 100 theta square lengths, the theta is in degree. 50 by n square, where slope is in 1 and n. Okay, so you can use this formula to calculate hypotenuse allowance, but this is not that much important because it is normally asked. It is not normally asked in paper. Okay, so we'll leave this. We'll move forward. We'll move to the errors. Now, during measurement, there can be several errors that can occur. So, first one is your natural error. The results from temperature, refraction, obstacles to the measurement, declination, etc. Now, as you know that we are using chain and tape, these are basically made of some metals. So, because of the temperature, there are chances that your chain become too long, or it become contracted because of the less temperature and get too short. Okay, sometime if you measure a distance which is very large or very far, what will happen, because of the different density of air, there can be chances of refraction. Okay, uh, there can be error because of obstacle. Suppose you are measuring an horizontal distance and some uneven ground can occur in that. Because of that, there is chances that the error can happen. Okay, so these are all considered in natural errors. Okay, after that, there is second type of error, is called as the instrumental error. Instrumental error, you can say that it is imperfect construction and adjustment of instrument. So basically, what is happening because of instrumental error is that you can say that if you are using a chain, as you can see, you know that there are handles provided in that, and sometimes we apply pull on the chain so as to make the measurement correct. So there are chances that the link may get what open up and they become what long or short. Okay, so they are all considered in terms of instrumental error. These errors can be limited with the precision and by applying proper correction. These error can be limited with the precision and apply proper correction. Okay, okay, so these are under what? Instrumental error. After that, we will see the cumulative errors and systematic errors. So the error which occurs in the same direction tends to accumulate. So cumulative errors, you can say that if you are taking an error, if you are considering one horizontal distance and you can see that it is considering an error, it will get accumulated in the same direction, then it is considered to be an cumulative error. These errors are proportional to the length of the line and may be positive or negative. It can be positive error, it can be a negative error. The error in the length of the chain or tape can be positive or negative. It happens because of the variation in temperature. It can happen because of the pull correction. Okay, bad ranging, MSL correction, and SAC correction. These are the different corrections which are under what? Cumulative errors. And then there is compensating error. Compensating errors, these errors are liable to occur in both the direction and tends to what? Compensate. That means these are this error occurs in both the directions. So if we don't consider it, then it is okay also. So these errors are proportional to the square root of the length of the line. Okay, these errors cannot be corrected as the nature not known clearly. Incorrect holding, suppose if you are incorrectly holding the chain and marking the arrow, that can cause an error. The fractional part of the chain may not be correct, so that you cannot see with your naked eyes. So fractional part of the chain can produce an error. So plumbing may be incorrect by chaining, by stepping or sloping. Okay, if you are measuring a horizontal distance in a sloping ground, you need to do what? Plumbing. Suppose you are not holding the plumb up correctly, that can cause an error. Incorrect setting chain angle with the cross staff. Okay, suppose you are using the chain incorrectly with the cross staff, then it can cause an error. Then there is the last one. Okay, the last one is mistakes and accidental error. Suppose the displacement of the arrow, miscounting of the change. So if you are the mistake and accidental error, the category in this, the things which arises are what the displacement of the arrow. The arrows are not properly fixed and it has been displaced because it is of very small diameter. It is of 4 mm, so there are chances that it can be displaced. Okay, miscounting of the chain, that can cause an error. Length, okay, misreading of what chain. Okay, so these are all under mistakes that is caused because of the human error. Mistakes and blunders can be rectified, so these errors can be rectified. Okay, so these are the various error. First one is your natural error, then is your instrumental error, then is your cumulative error, then is your compensatory error, and the last one is your mistake and accidental error. Okay, now we have different corrections for tape. The tape corrections, the correction with enormous length is more than the designated length. Okay, so correction positive, correction will be positive when the length is more than the designated length. Okay, so you need to apply positive correction when the length is more than the designated length. Correction is negative when the length is less than the designated length. Okay, now we have different formulas for corrections. So the first correction which normally used is your correction for standardization. Okay, it can be positive or it can be negative. It is given by what? CA equals to capital L by small l into C. Now CA is the correction for total measured. It is the total correction for measured. L is the measured length of the line. C is the correction per chain length. Okay, L is the designated length of the chain. So by using, if you have got all these values, we can find out by what the correction for standardization. Okay, we can easily calculate the standardization correction. Okay, basically what is standardization? Standardization means what? You know that the chains are made in your factories and they are made under some special condition. Okay, so under that condition there might be a certain temperature. Okay, so under that condition your chain is considered to be a standard chain. So if it is not meeting the requirement of that standardization of the chain, then you will have to apply the correction, and that correction is called as your correction for standardization. Okay, so the formula is given. Now there is a question given based on standardization, so we'll try to use this. The length of a survey line when measured with a chain. So a survey line has been measured with a chain of 20 meter. The nominal length was found to be 841.5 meter. Okay, the nominal length was 841.5 meter. When the chain was compared with the standard, it was found to be 0.1 meter too long. So when that chain, after the measurement, it was found that it was not meeting the standard requirement. It is 0.1 meter too long. What is the actual length of the line? So we have got these four values. We need to use the formula above it, and we need to find out the standardization correction. Okay, so we'll put write what are the given parameters. Now the correction of the length is what? 0.1 meter. Measured length is what? 841.5 meter. Nominal length of the chain is 20 meter. So the correction for chain, we can use the simple formula. So correction of the chain is what? L by small l into C. C is what? The corrected per chain length. So over here we have got the measured length. Okay, so the measured length is what? 841.5. The corrected length of the chain length is what? 0.1, and it has been divided by the original length of the tape, that is your CA. So the correction for standardization is coming to be 4.21. So the actual length of the line can be calculated by what? By adding this. Since the error is coming out to be positive, correction is positive, we need to add it. Okay, if it was too short, we need to minus it. Okay, so the actual length of the line is what? 841.5 plus 4.21. So this is 845.71 meter. Okay, so in this way you can apply the correction for standardization. After that we will see the correction for slope. So slope correction is mostly negative. Okay, slope correction formula given is Cs equals to what? Capital L minus under root of L square minus H square, or approximately Cs is given by what? H square by twice N. So you can use this formula or you can use this formula. Okay. Also, if theta is known, if you have got this is based on the difference of level, you can use this formula on the basis of difference of level. And if you have got the theta angle for the slope, you can also use this formula. C is equals to what? L into 1 minus cos theta equals to what? 2 into L sine square theta by 2. 1 minus cos theta can be written as 2 into sine square theta by 2, or equals to what? L sine theta. So either use this formula or use this formula. Okay. Now correction for temperature. There is chances that because of temperature the chain might get too long or too short. So the correction for temperature is Ct is equals to what? L into alpha into Tm minus 20. Okay. So Ct will be positive if Tm is greater than T0. Okay. Temperature is more than the standardized temperature, then the correction will be positive. And if the temperature during measurement is less than the temperature during standardization, the correction will be negative. So it can be positive or it can be negative. Alpha is what? Coefficient of linear expansion. Tm is the temperature during measurement. To is the standard temperature. Okay. Now there is correction for pull. So during the standardization, the chain is being provided with a standard pull. So there might be chances that at the time of measurement you are not applying the correct pull. So there will be correction for pull or tension. It can be positive and negative. So Cp equals to what? P minus P0 into L upon A into A, where Cp will be positive if P is greater than P0. If pull during measurement is greater than pull during standardization, the Cp will be positive. And Cp will be negative if P is less than P0. Okay. So pull during measurement is less than what? Pull during standardization. The correction for pull will be what? It will be negative. And P is what? Pull applied during the measurement. P is the PO is the standard pull. A is the cross section area, is the Young modulus, and L is the measured length. Okay. Now correction for sag. Sometimes what happens, the grounds are uneven, so we need to take the measurement in catenary. That means in what? In air we need to measure. So because of this, what will happen? Because the chain or the tape have its own weight, so sometimes it sags like this. So we need to apply the correction for that. It is called as the sag correction. It is also generally taken negative. Okay. When the end of the tape or the chain are of the same level, the tape and the chain is assumed to be flexible. When the tape stretch on the supported between two points, it takes a form of horizontal catenary, as I have told you. So the sag correction, basically the formula is what? Cs equals to what? W square L divided by 24 N square P square, where W is the total weight of the tape in kg. And if you are using this formula, W into L by the whole square, weight of the tape in kg per meter. L, small l is what? The total length of the tape of the chain. Pull, P is the pull, N is the number of equal way, and Cs is the sag correction. And this N represent what? Suppose you are taking the measurement in catenary at certain interval. So if you are taking 2 interval, the N value will be 2. If you are taking 3, the N value will be 3. So how many times you support the chain or tape, that will give you the value of N. Okay. So this is sag correction. Sag correction is always what? Negative. This is not important that much. We'll skip this part. After that, a problem has been given based on what? Sag correction. So it is saying that what is the sag correction for a 30-meter steel tape under a pull of what? 100 Newton in 3 equal span. So it is clearly mentioned that it is 3 equal span. So N value will be what? 3. Okay. The unit weight of the steel is 789 kilonewton per meter cube. Area of cross section is what? 8 mm square. So we need the value for W, because we have got the formula what? W square L by 24 N P. So we have got the value of P, we have got the value of N, we have got the value of 24. We have got the value of L, we don't know the value of W, we need to calculate the value of W. So W will be what? 78. So weight of the tape will be what? It is saying that it is having a volume per meter cube as 789. Okay, so 789 can be multiplied by what? The cross section area, that will give you the weight. So weight of the tape per span length is what? 78.6 into 10. Okay, into 8 into 10 to the power 6, because we need to convert it into what? Into meter. So 8 into 10 to the power 6. This will give you what? 688 into 10 to the power 6 kilonewton. If you take it as Newton, it will give you what? 6.288 Newton. Okay. As I've told you, 1 mm square gets converted into meter square. It will be what? 1 into 10 to the power 6. Now pull during measurement is 100 and L 100 mm for each span. It is saying that it has been measured for what? 10 meter each. So in terms of mm, L will be what? It will be m. Since we are taking it in terms of Newton, we need to take L as what? 1000 in terms of mm. If we have taken it as kilonewton, then we will have to take it as meter. Okay, so we'll use the formula. We have got what? The weight value. The weight value is 6.88. Okay, Newton, and that is the value of W, and 1 by 24, this is 1 by 24. Okay, and after that we need to multiply it with L. We are multiplying it with L, and see over here, W value is what? 6.28. It is not properly written in that. It is 6.28 square. Okay, the measured length we are taking it as 1000. Sorry, 10,000, since it has been 10 meter. Okay, 1 divided by what? 24. Okay, n square, we know that it is 3 square, and it is p square. P square will be what? 100 square. So by using this formula, you can directly calculate what? 4.94 mm. That is the value for what? The sag correction. You try to put this in your calculator, you will directly get this answer. Okay, after that there is also a correction for what? Misalignment. So correction for misalignment is said, it is generally what? It is always negative. If the survey line is not accurately ranged, suppose you are measuring a survey line and it is not accurately ranged, then the measured distance will be greater than the corrected distance. Okay, so the measured distance, in case the survey line is not accurate, what will happen? It will be less than the measured distance. Okay, the measured distance will be greater than the corrected distance, and hence the error is positive and the correction is negative. So whenever the error is positive, you need to apply the correction as negative. You need to do the opposite. Error positive, correction negative. Error negative, correction positive. Remember this. Okay, so suppose this is the alignment which you have chosen. We have got the distance theta1, we have got the angle theta2. So from here we can apply the correction for what? Misalignment. So it will give you what? L1 into 1 minus cos theta1 plus L2 into 1 minus cos theta2. By applying this formula, we can easily calculate what? The correction for misalignment. It can be also written as d square by 2L1 plus d square by 2L2. Okay, after that, normal tension, the pull which when applied to the tape affects the pull or sag are neutralized and no correction is necessary. So the pull when applied to the tape, the effect of the pull and the sag are neutralized. So what it is saying that when you apply a pull to a tape, the pull and the sags are neutralized and the correction is necessary. So the necessary correction which is required is Pn equals to what? 0.204 W under root of AE by under root of Pn minus P0. Okay, where W is the weight of the tape supported between two support, Pn is the normal tension. Okay, after that, method of linear measurement. There are different methods of linear measurement. First method is your third order, generally used in chain and tape surveying and either minor surveying. So third order type of surveying is generally used for minor works. Second order In this, we need to use what the measurement of transverse line in which theodolite is used. So in this, we use theodolite to measure sometimes the directions also. And the first order is a triangulation survey for determination of the length of the baseline. So the first order consists of a triangulation survey, and in that we measure the baseline, okay, accurately. The reduction to the length to mean sea level, correction because of mean sea level, that is L into H under root of divided by R plus H. It can be written as L into H by what? R. L is the measured length, R is the radius of the earth, and H is the height above mean sea level. Mean sea level. The correction is negative if the measured distance above the mean sea level. So if we need to measure, if we need to apply the correction and the point which we are considering is above mean sea level, then the correction will be always negative. If it is below mean sea level, the correction will be positive. Okay. Now we'll see about chain surveying. Chain surveying is a type of a land surveying. It is generally used for linear measurement, no angular measurements. As I've told you, no angular measurements are taken. It is used for a small area extended having few simple details. In chain surveying, the area to be surveyed is divided into framework consisting of triangle. As the principle says, to work from whole to part, we need to divide the areas into number of triangles. Okay. Now, basic definition: main survey station, the points uh, from where you start your measurement, they are considered to be main station. Survey line, the line joining the main survey station. So suppose you are taking this line is joining the main surveying station, they are called as a survey line. Check line, during the measurement, in order to check the accuracy, sometimes we take some small lines to measure the distance, that is considered to be a check lines. Offset basically are considered to be what? If you are measuring anything left or right to the survey line, then it is called as offsets. Okay. Tie lines are the lines run to locate the details, avoiding long offset. It is also called a subsidiary line or the secondary line. It is also used as a check line. Suppose tie line, in order to avoid long offset, we take some small offset, and that are considered to be tie lines. Subsidiary stations, the stations located on the survey lines between which the tie lines or the subsidiary lines are run. So from here you have taken a subsidiary line, tie line, and you have marked a station. Over here you have taken a tie line and you have marked a station. So that stations are called at subsidiary stations. And then there comes the baseline. It is a long survey line which is run throughout the middle area to be surveyed. Suppose this is the area to be surveyed, so the survey line will run across the total area, that is considered to be a baseline, which is a long survey line which is run through the middle of the area to be surveyed. The framework of the triangles is built upon this baseline. So baseline, the surveying, the triangulation will depend on this baseline only, because from here you will start the triangulation, will try to divide this area into number of triangles, and this part also will try to divide into number of triangles. Okay. After that, there comes well-conditioned triangles. It has been considered that the triangles which we are choosing are to be what? Well-conditioned triangles. So what are the conditions to be a well-conditioned triangle? A triangle is said to be well-conditioned if it can be plotted accurately by intersection of arcs from the ends of the baseline. So if you can intersect the arc from the ends of the baseline, then it is considered to be a well conditioned triangle. If the side condition does not permit any equilateral triangle, अगर side condition suitable नहीं है equilateral triangle के लिए, the triangle which no angle is less than 30 degree or more than 120 degree can be treated as what? A well conditioned triangle. The degree of precision is measuring the offset. So well conditioned triangle, as I've told you, if the arc can meet the baseline, then it is considered to be a what? Well conditioned triangle. And if the side does not permit you, the angle should not be less than 30 degree and it should be not more than 120 degree, then it is considered to be a well conditioned triangle, otherwise not. Okay. After that, the degree of precision in measuring offset. Normally the limit of precision in plotting is what? 0.25 mm. If the scale of plotting is 1 centimeter to 10 meter, 0.25 mm paper will correspond to 0.25 meter on the ground. Hence, offset should be measured to the nearest 25 centimeter for this particular scale. This is not that much important. One minute. Okay, after that, uh, this is also not that much important. Limiting length of offset. This is not generally asked, but uh, I recommend you that you try to read this because in gate there is you can't predict anything. There can be any possibility that it can ask this also, but I don't think it will ask. But after that we'll see the next topic, that is your instrument for setting out right angles. Now we have got various instrument to measure what right angle. Right angle means what? Suppose this is your survey line. Okay, you are taking an offset and you want that this offset should have an angle of what? 90 degree. So for that you required an instrument that is called as cross staff, and there are various instruments. One out of which one of is your cross staff. Okay, open cross staff. There is open cross staff. There is French cross staff. There is adjustable cross staff. Another instrument which is used to measure the perpendicular distance or the perpendicular line is your optical square. In this, generally what has happened, some prisms are provided. With the help of that prisms we can take the offset as perfectly 90 degree. Okay, the prism square more modern and precise than what? Optical square. It is more modern and precise than what? Optical square. There is also one instrument. So basically we have three instruments: cross staff, optical square, and prism. Now there are various obstacles that can occur during the chaining. So first obstacle is during obstacle to ranging but not chaining. That is forest chaining. Suppose you are taking to station point and in between that there is a forest, okay, or there is a hill. Then you there is an obstacle to ranging. You cannot fix an intermediate point because you are not able to see your first and the last station. Okay, so that is the obstacle to ranging. And second obstacle is obstacle to chaining but not ranging. Suppose there is a small pond in between your two station, so you can see from your one station to another station, but in between there is a pond, so you cannot, what, with the help of chain you cannot measure the horizontal distance. So ranging is possible but chaining is not possible. Okay, last one is obstacle to what? Both chaining and ranging. Suppose there is a big building in front of you. Okay, suppose there is a big building in front of you, so you cannot see from one station to another station, as well as there is no possibility that you can measure the horizontal distance with the help of chain. Okay, after that, so these are the three obstacles that can occur during chaining. Okay, now there is a question which has been asked that a chain line AB crosses a river. Okay, so it is saying that chain line is what? AB. So AB is what? Crossing the river. It is cutting the river. And then the next thing it is saying that M and N are being the near and distance bank respectively. So M and N. So M and N are the 2 point. Okay, that is along this AB line. After that, a point a point P is what? Measured 105 meter at right angles to AB. So a point P is been measured at a distance of what? 105 meter, which is at a right angle to what? AB. Okay, the after that what it is saying that at P, PA and MN are set out such that right angle APN is 90 degree. PA from here, P to A has been measured from here, P to N has been measured such that the angle which has been forming is what? Perfectly 90 degree. AM is measured as for 85 meter. So A from A to M, we have measured the distance is what? 85 meter. The width of the river MN is, so we need to calculate the width of the river, that is your MN. So we are considering that there are two triangles forming MPN, MPA. So we are considering that there are similar triangles. So MN will represent what? Mn by what? Mp. Mn by Mp will be equals to what? Mp by Am. Okay. So from here, uh, Mn we can calculate, which will be equals to what? Mp into Mp. Mp into Mp will be Mp square by what? Am. So we have got the value of Mp. Mp was 105 meter, that is square, divided by what? Am, that is 85. Okay. So the final value which is coming out to be is what? 129.706 meter. Okay, this is the final value which we need to calculate, because we are considering that Mn is what? Mn by what? Mp. The side, if you are representing this side by what? Mp, then Mp by will be what? By Am. Mp by what? Am. So we need to calculate the value of Mn. So we will take Mn on the left hand side. Mp will try to multiply it on the right side. It will become Mp square divided by what? Am. So 105 square by what? 85 equals to what? Into what? 129.706. So sorry. After calculating this, we will get the value of what? 129.706. Let me check what is coming or not. Where is my calculator? So 105 into 105 divided by 85. So it is coming out to be 129.706. That means your answer is correct. Okay. After that, we will do some level 1 question. We'll try to do at least 15 questions. So first question, it is saying that the most accurate instrument of the following for making linear measurement. So as I've told you, chain is an instrument which is, first you see that whether in question all the instruments which are given are used to measure linear measurement or not. Chain is being used for linear measurement, steel band is also used, steel tape is also used, and invert tape is also used. But out of this, tape is having the more accuracy, and therefore invert tape will be the answer. So answer will be what? Answer will be D. Okay. After that, second question, it is saying that the number of links in 30 meter, as I have told you, generally what your link is of what? 0.2 meter. So in 1 meter there will be what? So in 1 meter, if we consider, so if we consider 1 meter, 1 into what? 0.2. This is not correct, coming correct. So in 1 meter it will consist of what? So 30 divided by what? Point, that will give you what? 150. So the final answer will be 150. If in case of 20 meter, 20 divided by what? 0.2, that will give you 100. So you need to remember what? You need to remember that the link size is what? 20 centimeter, that is 0.2 meter. Okay. After that, the third question is what? An invert tape is made up of what? Invert tape, as I've told you, it is made up of alloy, which is what? Of nickel and steel. It is made up of nickel and steel. Nickel 35%, and it consists of what? Steel. Okay. After that, fourth question is what? Your prism square, plaster lath, invert tape, and butt rod. Now you need to match which is incorrect pair. Which one is the incorrect pair? We need to find out. Prism square is generally used for measuring right angle. This is correct. Plaster lath is generally used for marking terminal station. This is also correct. Invert tape is used to what? Baseline measurement. And butt rod is generally used for what? Offset. So I think the fourth one is not right, because your plaster lath is generally used to measure what? It is used to measure intermediate station, I think. It is generally used to what? Intermediate station. So the fourth one is not correct. We need to see the theory part of the plaster lath. That was on the first page. Here you can see that ranging a line setting intermediate point. It is generally used to measure what? Intermediate point. So this is wrong. So fourth one will be your. So the wrong answer is your C1. So plaster lath is the wrong answer. because butt rod is used for measuring offset, invert tape is used to measure baseline, prism square is used for right angle. Okay, so the wrong answer is what? Your plaster lab. After that, the next question, it is saying that the length of the survey line measured with the 20-meter chain was found to be 200 meter. Okay, when the chain was compared with the standard chain, it was found to be 10 centimeter too long. The true length of the line in meter. So we will use the same formula, L dash by L into what? Measured length. In this, L dash will be what? Incorrect length. So the original length of the chain is what? 20. Since it is coming too long, we need to add this 10 centimeter. It will be equal to what? 0.1. Okay, divide by what? 20 into measured length. Measured length is what? It is measuring what? 200 meter. So the final answer, it is coming out to be 200 plus 0.1 divided by 20 plus 0.1. This is not coming right. 20 plus 0.1 divided by 20 into 200. So it is coming out to be 201. That means your first answer, A1, is your correct answer. We'll see the next question. 30-meter chain was found to be 0.1 meter short. In this case, the chain is short, so we need to minus 0.1. Okay. Throughout its measurement, it was if the distance measured is recorded as 300 meter, then the actual distance in meter will be what? Now what we need to do? 20. It is not 20-meter chain, it is 30-meter chain. 30 minus what? 0.1. So since it is saying it is 0.1 meter too short. Okay. So 30 minus 0.1 divided by what? 30 into measured length. Measured length is what? Measured length is 300. So the final answer is 299. So the final answer is 299.00. Okay. After that, the next question, the true length of the line is 500 meter. So we have got the true length value. Now we have got the left hand side value. The line was again measured with a 20-meter tape, was found to be 502 meter. The corrected length of the tape in meter. And it is saying that the line was again measured with a tape of 20 meters. So we need to calculate the L dash value. We have got the value of L, we have got the measured length value. In this, true length value has been given that it is 500. Okay. L dash we need to calculate corrected length. This is 20 and measured length is what? 502. Okay, so L dash value will be what? 500 into 20 divided by 502. So it is coming out to be 19.92. So 19.92 is your B. So this is your correct answer. Okay. After that, a 20-meter chain is used in a surveying work. It was found to be 18 centimeter too long at the end of the day's work. After measuring 2900, the true distance of the chain was corrected before the commencement of the work in meter. Let me read once again what is saying that a 20-meter chain is used in a surveying work. Okay, 20-meter chain used किया गया है. If it was found that 18 centimeter too long at the end of the day's work after measuring 2900, the true distance if the chain was correct before the commencement of the work. So we will try to use the same formula. Same formula means what? L dash is what? 20 plus 0.18 divided by 20. Okay, so it is 1.009 into 1.009 into 2900, so it is 2926.1, and the answer it is coming as 291.33. I think we have done something wrong. Let me check. It's too long, no? 20 plus 0.18. Okay, divide by 20 into the measured length 29000. So it is 292.926.1. But the answer is not over here. I think we need to take the average value for the correction, because at the starting of the work it was having zero error, but at the end it was having 0.18. So we'll try to take the average of the error, 0.2. So it will be what? 0.18 by 2. So it is 0.09. So we'll take the correction as 0.09. We will check whether our answer is coming correct or not. Okay. Now L dash will be what? 20 plus 0.09. Okay. Divide by what? 20. Then this value has been multiplied by 2900. So now this answer is coming right, 2913.05. So this is the final answer, 2913.3. So in this case, the question different is what? It is saying clearly that at the starting of the work, the chain was having no error. That means initially it was having zero error, but at the end of the day's work, it is having a correction of 18 centimeters. So we need to take the average, because at the starting there was no error. At the end, it is saying that it is having error. So 0 plus 0.18 by 2, that will give you 0.09. So it is 0.09 meter too long. Okay. So instead of 0.18, we need to take 0.09. Okay. 9 question, it is saying that in chain surveying, the measurement made are linear, angular, linear and angular, or none. So in chain surveying, we only take linear measurements. So first one is your right answer. The next one is what? The area of the field was found to be what? 400 meter square. So area is given as 400. Okay. When measured with a 20 meter chain, it is 20 meter. Okay. If the tape is what? 0.10 meter too long, too short, so L dash is what? 20 minus 0.1. The corrected area is what? So we need to calculate what the corrected area. Okay. For this we need to do what? We need to use the formula L dash by L, the whole square, because it is having area, into what? A. So we'll use this formula. We'll try to calculate this. Okay. So 20 minus 0.1 divided by 20 into 0.995, because we are taking the square, into the area, that is 4000. So the correct answer is 3960. So 3960, this is the correct answer. Let me check the answer. 1 is your D answer, that is your correct answer. Similarly, we need to take the volume. In this, instead of area, we'll take it as cube, and this as volume. Okay. So the volume is 5000 meter cube. The tape is 30 meter nominal length. The tape was 0.15 meter too long. That means we need to add this. The corrected volume is, we need to calculate that. So then we will take that. L dash will be what? 30 plus, this time because it is too long, 0.15. Okay. Divide by what? 30. So we need to multiply it twice, because since it is a cube, 1.005 into 1.005. So this is the cube into the measured volume, into volume is what? 5000. So the final answer is coming out to be 5075. So this is the correct answer for your question. Okay. And now the reciprocal ranging is adopted when the following is encountered. In case of river, we cannot use reciprocal building. In case of hill, we will have to adopt what? Reciprocal leveling. Okay, we'll end up over here. So we have done around 11 to 12 questions. I request all of you that you try to solve other questions also. Okay. If you need this PDF, I can provide it in the link. Okay, so that you can do it by yourself. If you have any doubts related to this, please let me know through your comment sections. Okay. Thank you.